Hello and welcome to today's micro teach on reflection and performance evaluation. So today we're going to talk about evaluating and realistic evaluating at that. Sometimes we can be quite harsh on ourselves when we self-evaluate, and this is where including a peer, tutor or mentor can really help on not only honing in our evaluation skills, but also on our feedback giving and receiving and self-critiquing. So the reason why we include others within our reflection is because they can give a realistic feedback of what is going on. It's one of the reasons why we like to do our 3-month review feedbacks with Profile, because we can get an understanding on how our mentor sees things, how our learner sees things, and how our tutor sees things, and combine all that data together to get a more realistic approach on what is going on your apprenticeship. Reflection is a vital skill to learn as it gives us a realistic idea of the performance level we are at and gives us a good idea on how you can critique the good as well as the bad and how we can improve from there. Another way that you can help to reflect is setting SMART goals. Now you might think, what's SMART goals? You might have heard them before. SMART goals are literally breaking down each letter to be another point. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So setting yourself clear and reachable goals. So something that is simple, sensible, significant to what your task is, meaningful and motivating, attainable, reasonable and reflective, reasonable, realistic and results-based, so you can see how it's relevant to you, and time-bound, being able to give yourself a time limit or a time-sensitive goal so you know when it's done. SMART goals are a really useful tool to have in your toolkit, and once you start working in a SMART goal kind of way, you start to think that way more often. So soon you won't even think about it as a SMART goal, it will just be how you set up your goals. So how would you evaluate your performance? Say you've been set a task on your apprenticeship and you now have to evaluate it. What are you going to think about? Consider the pros and cons, the what went wells and what didn't go wells. Was there an emotional response? How did you feel when you were working on the task? Was it really challenging and you felt quite overwhelmed? Was it really easy and actually you really enjoyed it because it was an element that you enjoy learning about or teaching about or physically working in? How was your audience? Now your audience might be some learners, it might be nursery school children, it might be office workers. How did they react to the task? Were they engaged? Did they just want to go off and ignore you? How your audience interprets your activity can really help you to think later on how to make it more engaging. And finally, learning from your mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. They're called learning curves. We learn from them, and that is absolutely fine. If we all didn't make mistakes, we'd have a very boring, plain situation. So learning from your mistakes and reflecting upon them can help build your confidence. Think about what you should start doing, stop doing, and continue doing. These could be something of like a very small activity that you should start doing to build your confidence, stop doing to stop distractions, say, and continue doing to keep the flow going within your task or activity, whatever it is to help you improve. So finally, to conclude, when you are reflecting, think about the task you've just done. Ask yourself, what was the purpose of the task? What were you trying to accomplish? Did you meet the goals that were set? What was the result? Sometimes this is looking beyond the outcome and asking why. Maybe the outcome was not as you expected. Why was that? Why did it not go to plan? What could be done to improve? And finally, remembering to think about what you should start, stop, and continue doing to provide a useful and informative reflection task. Thank you, everyone, and see you for the next micro teach.